Hello everyone, today in this video we will fight against the Admas character of our world around us, and this time we will talk about another madhouse that occurred especially in Central Europe, in particular in Poland, since 24th of February 2022, when the conflict between Russia and Ukraine got intensified, because actually it started in 2014 with the annexation rebellion and later annexation of Łużańsk and Donbas, Łużańsk and Donetsk, actually almost entire Donbas by Russia, but initially they announced the establishment of two pseudo-republics, we know it, and now simply Russia annexed it and intensify military actions against Ukrainian forces. This is all what happened, but the madhouse that happened in Poland and in some other countries, but especially in Poland, is incredible. People and government hosted together several millions of Ukrainians from the territories that were not affected by the military actions. This is one point. And the second point, they got so much privileges, even much more than locals in Poland. And Poland spent billions on helping Ukrainian army and Ukrainian state, and of course majority of these things lost due to the incredible corruption in Ukraine. And one thing I need to mention is that in the Christmas time 2021, still previous madhouse connected with small Chinese friend was in the game, so older people were advised not to host their grandkids during Christmas Eve at home, because these kids were supposed to be very dangerous to them, because they could transfer to them this currently not so famous anymore small Chinese friend, this virus that could kill older people allegedly. So they were encouraged to see their grandchildren, see in quotation, by Skype or by telephone, whatever, so virtually, not physically, because according to this official news, it could have been very dangerous for them. But 2 months later, after 24th of February 2022, the same people, older and younger ones, were encouraged, and they did it, to take millions of Ukrainians to their houses and host them for many months and live with them together. And we know that they didn't get any syrups against the virus that were that were mandatory for many people, not for all actually, but for many people were mandatory, these syrups and elixirs, and many people were forced to take it. The ones who refused very often were punished, for instance losing their jobs, or they were simply prosecuted in the working place. But suddenly 2 months later, after 24th of February 2022, the same people were encouraged to take Ukrainians, millions of them, to their houses massively, despite the fact many of them didn't have opportunity to even see these elixirs that were called vaccines and so on, against this small Chinese friend that was not so that is not so famous anymore since the moment. So I would say that I would nominate current president of Russia to Nobel Prize in Medicine, because he finished one madhouse, but intentionally or not, he started another one. Especially it's applicable to the Central Europe and in particular to Poland, unfortunately. So we see how we are manipulated. One madhouse replaced the other. So what's my advice? My advice is simply just turn off the media and turn on the thinking. Look at the facts and make conclusions. Don't allow people in media, people from corporations and governments to manipulate you, because they manipulate you only in agreement with their own interest, and their own interest is not convergent with your own interest. This you should know. That's why we need to be immune, not prone to their propaganda messages. We need to be immune to that. Otherwise, we will replace one madhouse with the other. And I'm really shocked that this madhouse with Ukrainian conflict that didn't start yesterday. It lasts now almost 9 years. Recently, in February 2022, and it only got a little bit intensified in some regions, that we got flooded with millions of refugees from Ukraine and other countries, because some of them actually used the fact that border was open and also slipped into Poland and into Western Europe, some of them. And now we don't see the end of this madhouse, and we are actually draining our budget and getting involved in the conflict that it's not ours. And our ruling elite, business political elite, forgot seemingly that we have border in Russia with Kaliningrad Oblast. So it's not that we are completely safe and that we are prepared for any action, and we are actually using all of our military equipment and giving it to Ukraine. And Ukrainians, that's why I am coming back to this topic, because recently they announced, okay, that they will recognize our victims of the Volyn massacres in the late 39 and during 40s, because the last massacre of Polish people by Ukrainian peasants occurred in 1947, the first one in 1939, with culmination in the Volyn massacre July 1943. And so Ukrainian authorities said, obtaining so much pollen from Poland, yes, we will recognize your victims, but first you should recognize the victims on your side that you inflicted to us. So what a temper, what a awful behavior, and what a perfect example of being ungrateful. And the surprising fact is that our ruling elite in Poland, the representatives of this ruling elite, didn't say anything. So in my opinion, they are simply corrupted guys who want to, after serving their term in Polish administration, switch to some positions in the Western structures and simply leave Poland beside, and they don't care. They are selling everything. They are simply corrupted people who sell everything for their profits in the future, and they do not see their future in Poland. That's why Polish people should really replace all of them and start organize their country from the very beginning. Otherwise, it seemingly finishes really bad for them. And this, here we see, I'm coming back to the beginning of this movie, how one madhouse was surprisingly replaced by the other one within one day, and suddenly the small Chinese friend is not so dangerous anymore. Even foreign people coming to house who didn't take any elixirs against small Chinese friend are no longer dangerous for our grandparents. But 2 months before, in December 2021, we still were able to see in media and get such a message conveyed that better young people do not see your grandparents, because you can transfer this very dangerous small Chinese friend and kill your grandpas. But people from abroad cannot, who didn't take any medicaments allegedly against it. People, make your mind, make your conclusions, and think. Let's stop this global manipulation, because it will finish bad for all of us. Have a nice day. Bye.